Hello, hello. This is Vina M. Wilson, licensed clinical social worker in the state of Nevada, the city of Las Vegas, coming at you with a very important message. Now, this video is specifically for parents who have kids that are in high school. If your kid is in middle school or elementary school, feel free to still tune in because this is invaluable information. And if it's not helpful directly for you in the phase of life that your student is going through, maybe it'll be helpful for a friend of yours. In today's video, I'm going to share 5 helpful things for parents to consider while raising a kid who's in high school. There are a few things that I want to note before I get into the 5 particular areas that parents can be of support to their kiddo. Here in Clark County, the students are halfway through the first quarter of the semester. And I have found that more often than not, the kids who are coming to visit with me are stressed out, feeling overwhelmed, feeling lots of pressure. It started off really dandy, at least for the parents, as far as the parents were concerned, with how their kids were performing. The kiddo was submitting the homework on time, they were waking up on time, they were getting out of the door on time, and as the school year has progressed, students and their parents are noticing things are not as lovely as they used to be. If your teenager is more moody than usual, if they are more, sassy than usual, if they are more defiant than usual, maybe even more withdrawn than usual, that can be an indication that they are feeling a tremendous amount of pressure in this school year. Something that many people don't think about that kind of just slips under the radar, in addition to the acting out behaviors or the inhibited behaviors, if you're noticing that your kid is eating a copious amount of junk food or not eating as much as they used to, that could be an indication, a hint to you that they're feeling very anxious and overwhelmed. Same is true for the child who is sleeping a lot or not sleeping enough. It may not necessarily be just the typical phase of life that teenagers go through. You know your kid's baseline. If their behavior is quite different than what it typically is, like over the summer or maybe in the beginning of the school year, that could be a hint that something more is going on and you can be of support. Let's get into it. Number 1, again, because children are feeling a lot of pressure, that translates into anxiety. They may have more headaches, muscle tension, feelings of distress, heart palpitations, feeling like they're going to pass out, feeling like they're going to have a panic attack. All of that is anxiety. What I offer to you as the parent is to hold space for your child. I'm mindful that many of us have jobs, many of us volunteer, many of us have very full and busy lives. And if you can be mindful to create 10 minutes at the top of the day and 10 minutes at the bottom of the day to check in with your kiddo to see how they're doing in terms of anxiety, that will work wonders. If you're noticing that your child is beginning to express a lot of anxiety, where you can do some thought switching, help them develop a more strength-based perspective about anxiety. Instead of them focusing on being anxious, maybe you can help them refocus their thought on anticipation. Maybe it's excitement. Anytime we're up to doing something that we've not done before or something that we're really committed to and we want to give it all that we have, that can create some anxiety or excitement. So instead of anxiety being a doom and gloom sort of emotion, present it as excitement, maybe even anticipation. That thought reframing can work wonders. Number 2, okay, parents, something that I think would be helpful would be to build a team for your child, alongside your child where appropriate. There's a lot of momentum in the beginning of the school year, honestly before the school year, in that parents are going to open houses and collaborating with teachers and finding out where the classrooms are and maybe looking at the syllabus syllabi, more than one, I don't know, syllabus of the classroom, and having a pretty good foundation as to what their kid can expect in terms of their teacher, where their classroom will be located, and what is expected of them coursework wise. What tends to happen as we get into the groove of things and time goes on, we lose contact with teachers. So build a team. Find out who the school counselor is. Keep the open relationship going with the kid's teacher. Check in with them from time to time and see how your child is doing in class, what behavioral observations the teacher can share with you, in addition to how the kid is interacting with their peers. All of this could be tremendously helpful in your conversation with your kid, the 10 minutes at the top and the 10 minutes at the bottom. Now, for some parents, if you notice that your child has a difficult time with being organized, with managing their time effectively, with completing the homework in its entirety, with submitting the homework, that might not just be a lazy situation or a lazy child. That kiddo may benefit from having certain educational accommodations that are available to them. So what you will want to do as the parent is get in touch with your kiddo's school counselor and ask about a 504 plan, 504 plan, or an individualized education plan, or IEP. There are certain criteria that is required to be considered for either one of those educational accommodations. And your child's school counselor can notify you exactly what to do. And of course, consider me a resource. I know how things go down in Clark County. If you're outside of the state of Nevada or outside of Clark County, I will still do my best to be of support. Give me a call. My information is somewhere. It's somewhere. Number 3, routines. Routines are so important. Now I know routines can sound boring, it can sound monotonous, it can sound lame, and routine is still important, especially if we tend to have an anxious child. The less that the kid has to worry about, the higher functioning and more adaptive they can be in their environment. What does a routine look like? Get up the same time of day, go to sleep the same time of day, lay your clothes out before you go to sleep, eat breakfast, pack your lunch before you go to bed, all the things to help you have a nice, bright, happy day the next day. Be consistent, be structured, be predictable. Routines are the best. Your kid will thank you for it. Now, they won't like this part, and I get it. Take their phones away when possible, or at least have a docking area where the phone can be placed. Many of us have heard about how the cell phone lights can affect our sleeping rhythms, and even if it doesn't, even if that's not the case, even though it is, being entertained on IG, Snap, and all the other social media platforms will definitely keep your child up. So, to reduce any distractions from them getting hopefully 8 to 10 hours of sleep, have their phone placed in a docking area so they are not tempted to be on that thing all night long. Finally, and I know that it's easy for me to say because I am not in your household, do your best to practice waking your child up in a calm way. When children are woken up in a loud and unpleasant way, that can amplify their stress levels and kick their day off to an unpleasant start. Just a quick story. I remember being in middle school and being in high school, and my father, I don't know, to his credit, maybe I didn't hear the alarm go off 3 or 4 times. My father would bust in my room and scream and tell me that I'm running late, even though I was not running late. So I don't know if he was playing a gag on me, but I can tell you waking up aggravated does not start the day off well. So please be mindful of that. I can laugh at it now, but it was extremely unpleasant growing up. I digress. Number 4, encourage your child to foster and develop friendships with same-aged peers. It is so important that your kiddo has a friend or two. It does not have to be a lot of humans, just a couple of humans that are supportive and present in their life who are their same age, because it reduces loneliness. It reduces any misconception of them being weird or odd because they've aligned with someone else who has similar interests, similar viewpoints, and just cool to hang out with. And even though I'm encouraging you to encourage your child to develop and foster their friendships, kids still need you. So, there again, this video is designed for the high schooler, but if you have a middle schooler or a kid who's in elementary school, if your kid will let you cuddle with them for the first 3 to 5 minutes, I know, it's super cute. If you have time to cuddle with your kid or just spend time with your kid, make sure you do that. In addition to the time, or included in the time, of checking in with them at the top of their day. Please be mindful to, if you can, have some touch time or just that connection verbally with your kid. That is the best. Your kid will love you for it, even if they act like you're getting on their nerves. Last but not least, number 5. I alluded to this during an earlier talking point, and it bears repeating. Stay involved. We start out with tremendous momentum in the beginning of the school year, and then we taper off. Contact your kiddos' teachers, their school counselors, find out what behaviors they're displaying in the hallways that the teachers are noticing, in the classroom, among their peers, in general, and share with them what you're noticing. That old adage of it takes a village really is true. The more adults who are nurturing, supportive, and caring that are involved in a kid's life, the better and higher functioning that child will be. So please stay involved with your child's educational journey so you know what's going on, they know what's going on, and everything is happening as seamless and smooth as possible. Oh, and I forgot to mention, when you are contacting these teachers and you perhaps want to ask for a parent-teacher conference, let your kid come. Have your kid be a part of the conversation so that way there doesn't have to be Miss A telling the kid this and dad and mom is telling the kid that. Have the child be a part of the meeting so they can take initiative in being the most effective, productive student that they can be. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's video, and until next time, peace.